medium, and there is absolutely nobody watching at the moment. But I don't like people opening up a live to no words, and I want to be looking around, trying to see what I'm looking for. So if you're on here for the first time, welcome. I've been doing this work for almost 20 years now. I'm waiting for people to get notified about this live, and then I'm going to start getting into what I do. People are coming in as we speak. Hey, Ashley. Hey, Emily. Hey, Rach. Hey, Suzanne. Hey, Allie. Hey, Jenny. We're here. Yay. It's funny because when they start these lives, they don't give you, it just starts. There's nobody even in it. And then they post it automatically when it's done. So I literally have to start talking to absolutely nobody. There was nobody in here and I was just talking because I don't want people to like see the live after and they're like, why is this guy like staring at the camera? Good evening, Margaret. Hello, Yvonne. Hey, Marie. Hey, Jess, if you took the time tonight to go from TikTok, which I'm allowed to say on YouTube, to come over to YouTube tonight, and it's your first time on here with me, can I just get a little hands up? Give me a little raised hands if it's your first time on here with me. If you were just on TikTok and you decided, hey, I'm gonna give this guy a follow, let me see what happens. Okay, cool, excellent. I appreciate you being here. Listen, it's nerve-wracking being on TikTok. It really is. It's nerve-wracking lately because like you can't say boo without getting banned or in trouble. My very good friend, John Edward, was on TikTok last night promoting his new book, Chasing Evil. Phenomenal book, by the way, if you get a chance. I'm on chapter 15, and that's 15 more chapters than I've ever read in my entire life. So that's saying something. But the book is amazing. But again, my story was, he got like warnings on TikTok last night. And I'm like, for what? I watched your live. Like, you didn't say anything negative or bad. He was promoting his book, and they actually gave him a warning for that. They limited his views, and then there was something else that he brought up, or a certain subject matter that he brought up that gave them a hard time. I'm like, boy, you can't say anything anymore over there. But on YouTube, we get to say whatever the hell we want. I was going to use the F word, but I felt like that was inappropriate. But we can say whatever we want. So, thanks for being here. Yeah, it is silly. You got a YouTube notification, Leslie? That's awesome. I'm gonna start going live on here more. Oh my God, I'm such a BS artist. I say that all the time and then I don't do it, right? You guys must be like, yeah, we've heard this before. But I really am. I'm gonna start going live on here more often. I just feel more comfortable on here. I feel like it's my channel, you know what I mean? As opposed to TikTok, like watching every 2 seconds. It's kind of frustrating, but this feels better for me. So I appreciate you being here and welcome, welcome to the other side of the platform. Z with an S. So we got like 154 people in here. That's not bad. That's not bad. Yeah, more relaxed, right, Tara? It feels more relaxed. It really does. Oh, thanks, Jolie. You know, so Jolie just wrote, it was cool hearing about you in John's book. So yeah, apparently I am in the book Chasing Evil somewhere. I don't know, maybe I'm getting John a soda. I have no idea what I'm doing in the book, to be honest. I think it was one of the cases that he was working on, and I happened to be with him at the time, and I think I had some input around it. So they were nice enough to put me in the book, which I think is kind of cool. So if you get a chance, go check it out. I mean, for me to get to chapter 15 is a miracle on its own. So I don't even know how many chapters there are in the book, but I'm loving it so far. If you haven't gotten it yet, please get it. You won't be able to put it down. I'm telling you, if I got to chapter 15, you will not be able to put it down. If you even remotely read, if you like anything around like documentary, murder, serial killer, mafia kind of stuff, you're gonna love the book. All right, cool. Let's get into a couple of quick questions about anything you want to talk about. And then I'm going to try to read a couple people on here in the comment section. Yes, yes, Grana. There's a section or story in the book about a case that he was working on that did involve, a couple of things like that. There's a lot of cases in there. Now, here's the weird part. I've known him for 28 years. I've known this man for 28 years, and I could maybe tell you about 3 cases that I even know of, that he would sneak off somewhere and like work on with this, with our good friend Bob Hillen, who's an FBI agent. So he kept it very silent, very quiet. And like reading these stories now, I'm like, wow, when did this wait a minute, I knew you then. It's kind of cool, but he never really talked about it. He just did it. So kudos to him for that. It is on audio, Ali, and between you and me, that's how I'm listening to it. I'm not really reading it. I lied. I actually have it on audio. Okay, let's do a couple of quick questions. The name of the book is Chasing Evil. It just came out on September 2nd, I think. September 2nd, Chasing Evil. It's a white top with a red bottom on the book. It's like split. Do not buy the book with the white top and the blue bottom. So if you're looking it up, Chasing Evil, it is not that one. That is a scammer trying to get people to buy the same exact titled book at the same time he came out with his book. So it's white with a blue. Do not do the white and blue. It's white with a red bottom. Chasing Evil. Okay. All right. Cool. Okay, Kara, I'm playing your game. Kara wants to know: is this where the basketball classes are? Okay. Okay. Game's on. Game's on. Laugh it up. So Rach is asking, why do some would come through? So why do some come through and not others? Is it because we don't need to hear from them? It's not that we don't need to hear from them. I would say in the moment, that energy is stronger or can work its way through faster. A lot of times, somebody has to get to the door first. And I'm not saying they're racing to the door, but somebody has to get to the door first. Whoever touches the handle, that's who I have. Now, that energy that's coming through can choose, which in the last reading, if you just saw me on TikTok, she wanted to connect with her dad, but her mom came through first, and her mom started pulling everybody in. So that's why she came through first, because she can get more people through at the moment. Dad made an appearance. I would have liked to have gotten more around Dad, but that's the way it goes sometimes. But yeah, it's not because of who you don't need to hear from or you do need to hear from. You just have to be open to all of it. I want you to imagine lightning striking. When lightning is coming down to the ground, it has no clue where it's going yet. But it does go to whatever's higher, right? Whatever's higher up. Lightning can be all the way over here and it'll go boom and it'll shoot on an angle because it gets pulled to whatever's up higher. So the energy that's coming through for a reading hits the lightning rod. Just think of it that way. It's hitting the lightning rod and I'm there and I'm interpreting information and getting it through. It's just that simple. It's not about like, oh, that person shouldn't come through or they can't come through. Sometimes I'll read somebody and they'll say like, my mom has never come through in a reading before. And then, their mom will come through and they're like, that's how I know, because their mom comes through. They go like, my mom never came through before. And I'm like, this was just her time. This is when she was supposed to come through. So, and also guys, we can also put a little bit of a governor on who comes through for us, because if we have a very high expectation of who we want to hear from, a lot of times we narrow the field of what we'll accept as information for that person. Like if somebody lost a child, right? They're not playing games. They want to know that their son's there on the other side, that they're okay. They want to know their daughter's safe on the other side, that they're okay. So they put like a very narrow field of acceptance about what they will take as information. And sometimes that can miss things. I did a reading for somebody one time that she lost her daughter, and her daughter was trying to get through. And everything I got was about the daughter, but I never said I had the daughter. So the mom would not let that through. Like, I don't know if it's the grandmother came through, and it's just talked all about the daughter. Now, if she had said like, well, my daughter had passed. Now, I'm not blaming her for this. I'm just saying, if she said my daughter passed, then all that information immediately would have been obviously coming from her daughter. Once we validated that, other information would have came through around things that maybe the mom was doing around the family. But she just did not want to give it. Like the birthday came up, the name came up, what that daughter was always connected to. Now, me, honestly, in her defense, I should have caught on to that one. Like, is your daughter passed? Because there was so much around the one kid, but she just would not give it up. And because of that, we never validated it was the daughter. So I got a little annoyed at the moment. I said, why would you waste the reading like that? Why would you waste the time? I'm going to back it up with information anyway. And if you have a good medium, they should back it up. If you tell them something that, like, you're putting something in, wait a minute, Jonathan, I think this and this go together. The next words out of my mouth should be, okay, let's see if we can validate you on that. So I'm going to ask you, whoever's coming through, to give me something else to validate what you just said. So facts are the thing that move things around, okay? That's the only way it should be, period. Let's see. I have so many questions. Tassel said, I have so many questions. Let's see. Oh, we're up to 171 people. I wonder if we could break 200 tonight. That would be cool. Okay, how is the energy here different? Kara Kearns, how is the energy here different than TikTok? I can't explain sometimes why it feels different. It just feels different. And I think some of that has to do with TikTok itself, because I know TikTok has like Big Brother on it. You know, like they're like checking every single word that you say so that they can like limit you in your views. They can limit you in like your reach if you say the wrong thing. So if you're doing mediumship or you're just trying to do a live, you have to be careful about what you say. And then I'll see people say the most like robust things and not get in any trouble for it. So I don't understand that part, but it's kind of crazy. But that's what I'm talking about. I think people are people. So, you know, you're going to have good people. You're going to have people that are not so great. You're going to have people that are watching your live just because they hate you. You're going to have people watching, especially if you do this work. They just want, like, they want to see you crash and burn. They want to see, like, the negativity out there. There's those people. They just exist. They don't bother me. I could give two shits, to be honest. But for those that want to learn, for those that want to, like, kind of think outside the box a little bit and become a little more connected, I hope you stay here. I hope you make sure that you follow me on YouTube and that you watch what happens. I have a lot of shorts on here. I have a lot of posts on here already that a lot of them were on TikTok as well, but they are specific to YouTube. And if you're new on here, welcome, give me a follow, subscribe. That's the word I was looking for before. I couldn't remember what the word was. I'm like, there's something that you do on YouTube that you don't do on TikTok. What is that? Like, subscribe. A little slow on the draw tonight. Hi, Linda. So real quick, if some of you are new on here tonight, or it's the first time you see me on here tonight, I gotta say this. I do have a Zoom group coming up in October. I have 2 in September, but they're both sold out. And I have one October 15th. It's a 10-person Zoom group. It'll be 3 hours minimum. The only way that you can sign up for it, what if I could put the link in over here? Can I do that? I think I can. Hold on. Can I? I don't think I can chat on my own chat. Can I? Plus sign? Start a poll, start a Q&A? No. Well, anyway. Good. How do I say this? They tell me to wait. Okay, hold on. So I'm kind of new on this too. I'm trying to figure out how I can actually type something. Chat filter, top messages, community moderation. No, that's not what I want. My profile? Okay, who said that? DZ, thank you. Try my profile. Well, I don't have, well, I can't. I'm on a live. I can't get to my profile. Hold on. Oh, the heck with it. Here's what you got to do. You're going to type in on your search bar. You want to write this down, write it down. Stan, S-T-A-N, .store, S-T-O-R-E, / Psychic Jonathan Lewis. That'll take you right to the page you need to go to, and you can sign up right there for it and buy yourself a ticket, okay? That's the best way I could do it. Yeah, you guys can type it. Right. So stan.store/psychic Jonathan, Jonathan, Lewis, Louis. Oh my God, I forgot my own name. Okay. You're not going to risk it? Okay. This removes potential spam. Have you ever had someone where no one came through? No. No. And here's the deal. If I've ever read anybody, hold on a second. I got to answer. Pin the link. Wait, I couldn't pin the link. I don't even know how to do it. God, I feel so like. Froze. I only froze for a second because John Edward was trying to call me while I was on here. So I had to just let him know that I was doing a live. I forgot to put my phone on silent again. So again, just go to stan.store/psychic Jonathan Lewis. And then if you punch that in, it'll pull up my page and you can see where you can get yourself a ticket, okay? All right, cool. Tell him to come on. I think he's going to sleep. I don't know if you guys know this, but he's been out like promoting his book for the last few days. He's shot. So I'm pretty sure he was just calling to say goodnight because I haven't talked to him all day. Yeah, right? I was just talking about him. So let me do a couple. Just going to say goodnight. His wife's usually up later. I think he falls asleep sooner, and then Sandra's up a little bit later. Let's see. Anybody got a question? Has anyone dying come through? So pretty lady. Oh, that's funny. Pretty lady. Has anyone dying come through? So I've had people in comas come through. I've never had anybody that was like in the middle of dying come through. No. But comas, yes, where the only way they're still alive is like they're plugged in. You know, that's it. They're basically, if they were to be unplugged, they wouldn't be here. But I have connected with energies that are still living, but yet in another state, meaning like transient state. Okay, so Cassandra Wolf, how do you stop spirits when you are trying to have family time? Cassandra, could you define family time for me? I'm just curious. Could you define family time for me? You asked the question, now I'm putting you on the spot. I would just like to know, spending time with your kid. Oh, okay, I'm sorry, I was going somewhere else. Okay, so are you talking about me in general or you? Like, nobody, if you're talking about me, because I do the work, nobody bothers me when I'm with family. Nobody can get in. When I'm done here at night, or I'm done answering questions, or I'm done doing readings, I completely shut down. Nobody has access to this anymore. So anybody that tells you any different is just not correct, okay? Or they don't have their walls up. There's people that are like, oh, I can't help myself. Spirit's always bothering me. I can't do anything. That's a bunch of BS. That is just, I want attention. That's all it is, okay? So when you're working, you're working. When you're not working, you shut it down and you go about your day. They don't bother me, ever. Spicy time. Okay, let's see. Taco Rocks. Has a spirit ever come to you and asked you to find someone to give them a message? No, because that would be breaking the rules. This work is for the living, not the past. It's to help the living to understand that the survival of a consciousness exists after the body or the spirit leaves the body, right? Unless somebody asks me to make a connection, there is no reason for me to make a connection with a spirit for somebody living. There's no reason for it. I don't believe it should be a reason for it. That would be like, hey, can you go talk to my mom? Hey, can you go talk to my dad? You know, like that would be like ridiculous. So if somebody comes to a medium for a reading, then that connection can happen. Does that make sense? Because otherwise it would break all the laws. Like when we talk about, going up, it's no different than a meeting and running up to somebody in the parking lot and saying, hey, your mom's here and she wants me to, that's a no-no. That person didn't ask for my help. They didn't ask for my input. They definitely didn't ask to talk to their mom in a parking lot of a super drugstore or whatever. So no, it's not okay. And they know that. So they don't really they shouldn't bother anybody actually to go find somebody. That's not how this works. It's the living that asks for it, and then the connection comes through that way, okay? Good, I'm glad that makes sense, cool. I always try to make my answers very grounded. I am no different than you guys. I might do this work, but I'm not a spiritual woo-woo. I really look at this as being something that can help people in some way, and understanding that there's more than just this, I think is very helpful to a lot of people in this world. I think thinking that we die and go nowhere is sad. I think that people that think that way, I feel bad for them. I really do. So, the goal here is to raise the vibration and let people know that, hey, this is not the end, guys. This is not the end. Not by a long shot. Not by a long shot. Okay, let's see. Do people ever assume? AG, do people ever assume you know everything? No, it's quite the opposite, actually. People constantly challenge me on information because they feel like they need to challenge it. When I get information, especially around family or even friends or people that I know, it's more like it's like a, hey, you might want to blah, blah, blah. It'll be like a suggestion. And it's almost like they push it away, or because they don't want to know it, or they don't want you to know that you got it right. So it's kind of funny, but people actually push away the information as opposed to accepting it. Especially in my experience, that's how it's been. It's been a little like weird when it's somebody that you almost don't want to say anything. I don't walk around talking about, information with family and friends and things like that. When I'm with family and friends, I'm just me. I'm just doing my regular thing. When I'm working, I'm working. But if you're going to walk around all day long, giving out information and like, what's your purpose? Why are you doing that? Doesn't make sense to me. Jolie, do your kids push it away? Only when it's something they don't like. When it's something they like, they're like, yeah. And if I say something they don't like, it's like, well, Dad, maybe. I'm like, oh, okay. So you'll take it when it works for you, and you won't take it when it won't. I'm like, how are you any different than any client I've ever had? Like, you should know better. You were raised on this shit, right? That's how I get with them. But it's kind of funny. Let's do another question. Can a spirit tell you how they died? Yeah, of course they can. Now, Camille, here's the thing. This is all about validation. So when a spirit is coming through, they're going to give us information that you can validate. That's what's important about it. If I were to tell you a whole bunch of things about somebody that you didn't know, you couldn't validate any of it. So therefore, it doesn't really mean anything. So if you don't know how somebody passed, chances are they're not going to use that as information to come through with because you can't validate it. If you know how they passed, they can absolutely come through with it because you could say, yeah, that's how they passed, or that's how my mom passed, or whatever. But it has to be information that can be validated. There's no point in getting information that can never be validated. There's just no point in it. They won't use that. They'd rather use something like a current event that just happened around you, or something around the house, kids, dog that just took place, a date that might have meaning for you. They'll use things like that. But if you don't know something and you're looking for an answer, unless you can find that answer somewhere, there's no point in them giving it to you, because you're not going to know where it's coming from, like if it's accurate or not. How do we know? So Emily says, how do we know it's a lesson we're here to learn? I'm going to say, Emily, if you go back throughout your life and you look at how things turn out, how things go for you, you usually see a pattern somewhere. And a lot of times, if there's a pattern, that means we're relearning that lesson over and over. Sometimes it's around relationships, sometimes it's around work, our personalities, things that we need to shift and alter in our lives to be the better person here, raising our vibration. So you'll see patterns of things repeating. And when things are repeating in your life, or things are ending up the same way, that's when you go, wait a minute, I'm missing something here. And you got to pay attention to those things. Like, what do I need to shift or alter in that to make it better? Or you recognize, like, even family patterns down through the generations, like how people are with each other in families. Like, what are the things that I can shift around that to make it better? You know, families are always fighting. Families are always fighting. This generation fought, that generation fought. How can I shift that in this generation? What maybe the generalized lesson for me, and when it comes to families, shifting that outcome in some way. There's a lot of different things that'll be considered lessons, but not everybody has the same lessons. Everybody's lessons are different. So you got to figure out what for you fits, and look for the thing that needs the most work, the thing that you don't want to face, the thing that you don't like, is usually where the lesson lies, to be honest. Because if you've learned other lessons, they become easy for you. Lessons don't go away. They're not issues anymore. So if something is an issue for you, or you have trouble, like, I just don't want to do it, like those things, there's usually a lesson in there somewhere that you got to figure out. That's the best I can answer for you without doing an actual reading. I hope that helped. I'll do one more. Dawn, I'm just going to say Dawn. Do higher vibrations have ability to connect to spirits? I think everybody has the ability to make a connection with your own family and friends. You're tethered to them anyway. When it comes to ability to connect with other people's family and friends, I think it's based on, one, learning the craft, two, the ethics of it, and I would say three, constantly doing it. It's no different. Well, we were talking about basketball before, but it is no different than bouncing a basketball. If I handed you a basketball and I said, bounce this ball, and you're not that good at it, and I said, okay, now every day I want you to bounce that basketball for 10 minutes. I'm going to come back in a month and we're going to see how you're doing. I guarantee you, if we have side-by-side video footage of you, you're going to be a lot better at bouncing that basketball a month later. It's the same thing with this work. The more you do it, the more readings you do, you learn what works, what doesn't work, what fits, what doesn't. Because it is all trial and error when you're first learning. It's all trial and error. Like, some things will make sense, some things won't. But then you see like a pattern in things that make sense. You go, okay, that's my symbol for that now. I got it. It's all about growing and learning. So the more you put energy into it, the better you become at it. I'm just saying, and I've always said this, some people, you could put them in it for years, they will not get any different. Some people will just do this because they were meant to do it. That's all there is to it. I used to think that, and you even hear John Edwards say this, like, used to think that was something you could, teach in some ways. And you can, to make connections with your own family. But there are people that are supposed to be doing their work for others, and there's people that should just be doing it for themselves and their own family. It's that simple, okay? I'm gonna do one more question. I hope that answered your question. I hope that helped. So Karen, do any of your children have the ability? I think they all have a little bit, I can't say they're like First of all, they have no interest in it. I think, they really wanted to know they were doing the right thing in their lives. So one of the big things we always worked on with my kids was helping them to be the best them possible, right? So teaching them what they needed to learn in this lifetime, knowing that their ability to make the right choices in their own lives, recognize the negativity when it's coming up. If one of your kids meets somebody in life and they say, hey, I got a new friend, right? You want to know, well, why is that friend meeting them now? What does my child have to learn from that kid? And what does that kid have to learn from my child? So right away, when my sons or my daughters meet somebody, it's a friend. I'm like, oh, what's their birthday? They're like, what? I go, what's their birthday? I want to know their birthday. Like, I want to know what is it about that person, whether it's numerology or astrology or whatever. I want to know what it is. Why is my kid meeting them now? Why are they connecting? Especially with boyfriends or girlfriends or anything like that. Always boyfriends and girlfriends. You want to know, like, okay, why are they meeting? What do they need to learn from each other? Again, I hope that helped to answer your question. Yeah, somebody just wrote, "Give me their natal chart, Allie." That's funny. Seattle Moxie, how's med school going? My daughter's in med school. Yes, she's doing well. Thank you for asking. I don't know how you know that, but I'm assuming it was said somewhere. Tara just wrote, why did my son have to meet his ex-girlfriend? Ugh. Well, the key word there, Tara, is ex, meaning hopefully he learned his lessons, right? Hopefully when he meets the next person, she'll be different, and vice versa for our daughters. They meet the right person. Sometimes people are drawn to a certain type of energy and they repeat it over and over. And they're like, this is like my third or fourth boyfriend or girlfriend, and they're the same energy every single time. Even adults do it. Come on, you guys are out there. Some of you are divorced, whatever, and you go on dates. It's like, why am I pulled to this person? What the hell, right? So you have to recognize, what is it that you're needing in that energy or you're missing in your own? And what I can tell you is this: please be balanced. Please get centered before you go out and start doing the stuff and meeting other people again or doing other things. Learn what you need to learn for you. Love this, and then all the rest of it can fall away to the wayside because it becomes more of a want than a need. If you need to be with somebody or you need to be in an energy around you, then the universe can use it to teach you lessons. Because they'll send somebody in that looks great, sounds great, and then they start screwing around with your energy in your life, right? So you want to be in a place where you're so confident and powerful and balanced in your own way, energetically, that if somebody comes into your field and they're not coming in with the right energy or the right way, you're like, see you later, bye. So you want that to be a want, not a need. If you need to be with somebody, I'm letting you know right now, the universe will screw with you. Because you should want to be with this, meaning your person, yourself, like looking in the mirror. That's who you should want to be with. And if you're good in your own space, alone, in your own energy, and happy, then when somebody else comes into your energy, they either bring good stuff with them or they bring bad stuff with them. And sometimes it makes us happy when they come in, sometimes it makes us happy when they leave. But it's not going to alter or shift who you are in the process, okay? That's the goal. That's my relationship advice for the night. Karen just wrote, I only like me. Am I back? Am I back? If you, I think I should be back now. Could somebody give me a thumbs up? Oh boy, I think I lost a lot of people here. Yes? Okay, all right. How come nobody can give me a thumbs up? There we go. Thank you, Lori. Such a simple thing to ask for. Give me a thumbs up. Nobody's doing it. Everybody's talking, but nobody's giving a thumbs up. Thank you. Oh, you're a little late now. Everybody's a little late now. Racking my brain over here. I don't know what's going on with my Wi-Fi. So what I'm going to say real quick is this. I think I'm losing, for some reason, I'm losing service. But I appreciate you guys being here tonight. No, I wasn't sleeping, Linda. I was not sleeping. I'm sure I looked ridiculous on the frozen part, but that's okay. Yeah, okay. You guys enjoy this. All right, that's cool. That's fine. Listen, why don't you do this? Why don't you go to my group in October? How about you do that? And you're wondering how to get in my group in October. Well, I'm going to tell you, just, you know what? Go to my TikTok page. If you know my TikTok page, go there, hit the Stand Store link in my bio, and join my group for October. The 2 September ones are sold out. I got one in October, October 15th, 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. You know, instead of laughing and giggling, why don't you just go sign up for that? I'll see you there. It is a good time though. We have fun. I like to have fun when I read. I like to have fun when I work. So if you're having even a little bit of fun right now, just imagine 10 of us together for about 3 hours or 4 hours, probably 3.5 hours is what I usually run. And we do a lot of readings. Like I said, I try to read everybody that's there. And then we do Q&A and we get into other stuff. So we have a lot of fun when we're doing it. I think if anybody was in my groups, you can hopefully validate that. You better. I appreciate you guys tonight. Listen, this is going to be trial and error on this YouTube. It's going to be a little bit of trial and error. I am also going to figure out how to get people to come up on the screen. I know there's a way to do it. People have told me there is a way, but I am actually going to work on that so that when we do go live here, because I really do prefer to be live here. I got to be honest. I feel a lot more at ease on YouTube than I do TikTok. And we'll try to figure out how to get people up here live, okay? And we'll do some readings here. You know what? I'm going to make you guys a commitment at the moment. I'm going to say Friday night. I read Friday night. I'm done at 10 or 10:30. I don't know. Shoot. Friday night, I'm going to visit my daughter up at school. And I'm going to be free Friday night, like late. I'm done reading. I have to read up while I'm up there with her. But I read from 6 p.m. to like 10 or 10:30 p.m. Look for like a signal from YouTube at around 10:30 the latest on Friday night. I'll go live on here again, okay? And we'll do a couple readings in the comment section. But meanwhile, go sign up for my Zoom group. If you need to know the link for it, again, if you don't want to go to TikTok, it's stan.store/Psychic Jonathan Lewis. JONATHAN, and then Lewis, LOUIS. If that's too much work, just go back to TikTok, or if you have me on TikTok, go there, click the Stand Store link in my bio, scroll it. When it comes up, you'll get to the one that's open. That's the October 15th. And I'll hopefully see some of you guys there, okay? Friday's 10:30? 10:30, yeah, I'll be here. I'll be here Friday night. So I'll see some of you guys then, okay? All right, guys, I'm gonna let you go. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Now, before I even say goodbye, I'm going to make sure I know how to get out of here so I don't look stupid. All right, guys, you have a great night. It was good seeing you.